Having tested the RONDO for 4 weeks, I really enjoy the fact that I can have nothing behind my ear anymore. I really like that. I've had hearing aids since I was 8 years old, and I have that freedom to be able to wear my glasses without having extra stuff back there. It's very nice.
In our free time, we do a lot of TV watching and board games. One of the things like with having the implant now with the board games is you can play the game and hear the table talk back and forth. You know, what with that, only, oh, we can't play that game because I can't hear. Now it's, okay, we'll play that game.
When the audiologist first gave me the RONDO processor, I looked at it and I went, what am I supposed to do with this? She explained to me that it completely goes on the magnet, and so there's nothing that goes behind the ear anymore. So she also showed me an attachment clip that goes with it that can give me a little bit more security for when I'm doing something like playing sports or have a physically demanding job like I do. And what it does is it just clips to your shirt, I can't find it, clips to your shirt or your ponytail, and it keeps it from falling off your head. The RONDO is really nice because it has a on-off switch, which I always missed on my Opus 2. You had to open the battery door, and so the case might fall out. So I loved having the battery switch, the on-off switch on the battery cover there. I was really surprised to find that the RONDO processor batteries last an additional day or two for me, and that the batteries are much easier to change, so when you flip it open, the batteries come out easier. With the Opus 2 and with hearing aids, I'd put on glasses and it'd be so much equipment back there behind my ear that it'd be uncomfortable, especially after a couple hours of wearing glasses and hearing aids at the same time. But since having the RONDO, I can just put in glasses on and feel completely comfortable, even hours after wearing them.
One of the great things that's been about this, my wife being implanted, is she's able to talk to her friends and family. So, talk to her mom, see what's going on with her family life, talk to the friends. But there's one drawback. My phone bill has gone up.
With the RONDO processor, it was a bit of an adjustment to get used to using a phone. First few days were a little bit difficult. And now I know that I just push the telecoil button on my remote, hold the phone to my head, and I can start talking. Not much, just got home from...
My wife's life has been greatly improved since she's been able to have the implant. She's been able to do her job much more effectively. Before she couldn't have a phone interview, for example. And now she's talking to everybody at work, that instead of having to say, well, email me, it's, okay, what's your number? And she would have a conversation. So she's been able to benefit at work, how you pay. She received a raise not too long after, because she was able to more effectively do her job.
Having the RONDO processor means a whole bunch to me because I can have it there and nobody knows it's there. And I don't get stares in the grocery store from hearing aids like I did for so many years. It's just there and people can talk to me without noticing there's something different about me. I really felt that I could hear with the Cochlear implant when I was driving along on the road and I realized I could hear what was going on around me, such as emergency sirens from an ambulance. It always surprised me when they would come up upon me and I see the lights, but I wouldn't be able to hear them coming up to me. But I first heard them approach my vehicle while I was driving on the road, and I knew they were there. The sound quality with the RONDO processor is almost the same as the Opus 2. The only difference I really noticed was when I'm driving in the vehicle and I have friends in the back seat, I can now understand them a lot better. When I go to the trail and I'm out walking the dogs, it's wonderful to really hear the sounds that are happening all around. I love to listen to the sounds of the wind blowing through the leaves. I never thought I would hear that again. It was a surprise the first time I heard it. I've actually had the opportunity to go to a couple live concerts since I've gotten the Cochlear implant, and things sound so amazing. The Cochlear implant has changed my life a lot. It's made me more independent and more confident in my life. I'm able to do so many more things that I wouldn't have even tried to attempt because I'd be frustrated with who's going to be able to talk to me? Am I going to be able to understand them? What if I can't understand them? How are we going to communicate? Since I've gotten the Cochlear implant, I don't have that problem anymore.